Calling you a radical. I've got to get this right. Now this is historical. There's the jetty at the absolutely historical perfect level. Now why is this important? Because the state of Utah, the so-called academias are fucking liars here. Oh, the slowly steady decline of the Great Salt Lake. We've got a plan to have... No, this is an acute catastrophe. Now, Smithson built this in 1970. It's out in the middle of freaking nowhere. They just put a road out there recently, but I was against that, so was he. Anyway, he was killed after he did it, but... Hang in there, Kev. So... Oh, God. What'd we do, lose it? There it is. So... he built it in 1970 to shoot that crazy red film. But... it went underwater after that. I was full of cancer. By the way, Bill Gates' personal artist showed. I ain't kidding you. This is a great story. His wife's the curator at the museum in Seattle. Oh, God. This Ice Cube in the Desert guy showed up right as I was shooting this video. I didn't know who he was. So, anyway, let's see if we can stop this.
Long track getting out here.
But I knew I had to get this. Why it was historic. It's the only footage probably ever shot of the video of the jetty at its perfect level. Ever. In its history. Why? Because after 1971 we went through a very wet cycle and it went underwater for decades. It was underwater clear into, I think, well, the early 90s. Then, the lake stayed pretty consistent all the way to 2012. Then, just like I said, and keep this in mind when I get out there and I get the video because it's miles away. So the lake is lost since 2000, October 12, 2012. It has lost over 60. Why is that important? It's radical, historic, incredible collapse. Not been going on for years, just like they'll try to tell you that on the salmon. When the salmon had record returns in 2016, they go to sea for 5 years, just like the starfish. This is how they wanted to use this normally. By been going on forever, haha, boil yourself into death, die of cancer young. No. This is the liars the state of Utah is. Because the state of Utah and the Mormon Church should be ashamed of themselves are environmental terrorists. Anybody that tries to defend them, because it's all about growth for the sake of growth, the ideology of camp cells. I mean, Governor Herbert, our new freaking airport, we want to become the Chinese slave-made goods, and then they call themselves Christians. What's disgusting about it? And, so this is, like I said, it's a historical important video.
Trek. Even though
I was full of cancer, but
20 miles.
Now keep this in mind. It's miles away from it now, and I mean literally miles. Because I should put up these videos over the next few days.
I sit in that hospital.
I was so sick. I weigh, in this video, I think I weigh 132 pounds.
In October at the jetty.
Of course, that's higher than I was.
Is a picnic at the jetty.
From 175.
My favorite place.
The central line, I think, still in my jugular vein.
Powdered me on the head right here in 1970. I stood right
keep
here.
this in mind. I mean, by the way, you can hardly even see the jetty out there. I was out there last year because the dust storms, dry lake flex blowing over the top of it. It'll be gone here soon. You won't even see it. It'll be like an old Mayan lump. So not been going on for years. And like I said, I'll sell this video. I tried to sell it. When Smithson's wife did the sun tunnels, I'll get out there. And remember, he did the drawing of towing the island around the island. I went to New York, and I was there when they toted the island around the island. She's recently passed away, too. But he hated museums. Of course, they build the road out here anyway, which I was against the road. This is one of the first trips out here on the new road. I think the road was completed, 2012, when I was in the bone marrow transplant center.
A Steve Chinese fucking jobs, made in China fucking Apple.
Videos are so good. So keep this in mind. Because the state of Utah is trying to say, oh, this has been going on for years. No, it hasn't. Why are the fucking pumps out there, you lying Mormon fucks? And I'm a Mormon. I can't believe they haven't kicked me out. But I'm so disgusted with their whole thing.
Oh, wow.
By the way, this is the cop kill innocent people, murder capital of the world right here in Utah. That, nobody talks about that. Go Jazz. Donovan Mitchell's talking about people. Well, he has no connections to Utah. He has money. So keep this in mind. This thing has been an acute. What's the point of all this? The point is Fukushima. I predicted all this. I says, look, this is going to cause a heat source. It's going to come over. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. It's going to collapse. And this is smoking gun stuff. This is important. This is what good science is. Good science. Scientists are mystified, baffled, puzzled, stumped, perplexed. That's not science. What I've done science. First, I hypothesized, look, they're going to lie. It took me a year and a half to convince people it was one meltdown. By the way, Trump has just talked to the new Japanese PM, saga. What a saga. And they had a phone call, I guess, yesterday. And the phone call went like this. Hey, this is your owner, the Japanese PM, just like a bee. I'm your new owner. Yes, my lord, Trump said, just like Obama did. Yes, my lord, you will keep your mouth shut on the Fukushima disaster. You hear me? Yes, my lord. By the way, he won't be PM. He'll get beat in the election, I think. Not Trump. Well, he'll get beat too, Saga. And so, I said it's going to cause a heat source over the western United States. It's going to dry up the Great Salt Lake's the canary. It tells you everything. I mean, these fires, hear the bird? Nice. The little bird told me. So, the tide pools collapse. I had to walk the coast full of cans and prove you that to you. Now it's contemporized knowledge, but back then it wasn't. You're full of it, Blanch. The salmon. Oh, we got record turns. You're crazier in the bed, but now it's contemporary knowledge. Oh, the fires. It's going to cause a heat source. It's going to dry out all the trees. I remember when I was walking the coast, and I'm like, look at all the trees burning, or dying. Oh, beetles. I said, it ain't beetles. And now it's contemporary knowledge. They dried out, got too much radiation all the time. Oh, it's going to cause fire bubbles. It's going to cause the atmosphere. Plutonium fires are actually here. Now it becomes contemporary knowledge. So you hypothesize the knowledge, you sound crazy. And I did all the work, and then you do the field work. I've done 8 years of field work, and then you defend your work. That's what I've done. And so this is another piece of this incredible historic PhD of mine. Maybe that cigarette. So keep this in mind. So when they tell you this has been going on for years, that's absolutely perfect historical level in 2012. How's it going? So when they tell you this has been going on for years, they're lying. Same with the starfish. So they're trying to tell you the lake collapsed and been going on for years. Just coincidence in Fukushima. The tide pools, the starfish all died just wasting degrees 2012. Just coincidence. The salmon collapse, they go to sea for 5 years. From 1.7 million to 200,000 in 2016. ODFW, WFW, all the models at 2.7 million. My models, at Kevin Blanch's models, every year, dead on, dead on, dead on. So that's good science. Which I named this Fuktonium, and I says the atmosphere will actually become so toxic that it will catch fire and burn, and that's exactly what's happened. These fires at first, they said, oh, there's arsonists, working simultaneously. That's clear back now. It's been confirmed. Static electricity starting these fires because it's so right. And this is an ecological catastrophe caused by Fukushima. The heat source from Fukushima is the hottest substance known to man. It's a plasma. It's a gas. It's a sun. Livermore, California, bringing star-powered Earth. That's where Kamala Harris's mom. When I met her, she was the cancer research PhD. By the way, died of cancer. It kills. It's amazing to me. Same with Jeff Bezos. And I want to say this. Why do these same people have all the money? Because they opened the spigot at the Manhattan Project, and these are all, including Jeff Bezos. Look up his grandpa. What? He was head of the Nuclear Regulatory Agency at Livermore, California? Yeah, came from Los Alamos. They all did. Because that's where Gates, all of them, that's where the money came from. Operation Paperclip Skid. So keep this in mind when I start putting up videos.
How come you got
No, not been going on for years. This is all post-Fukushima, and so they want to say it's coincidence. It's not coincidence. It's not, because coincidence doesn't get it in science. In fact, it's asymmetric. It's all these frauds. Here we go. All day, every day. That's what we listen to all day, every day. Why the country's going broke, nobody has a job, homeless freaking population out of control, and the military industrialized pigs go mad. So this is important. Stay tuned. By the way, thank you to everybody who's supported this historic work. I need funding, and I've done a lot of shoestring, and I'll get by with a little help from my friends. You know, I can't say how much I appreciate what everybody's done for me, for us. And so this work is able to, it's historic work, and it's there. You know, I thought maybe people could package it and put, you know, and we can get it, but
as he said,
I would like to sell this video, by the way.
I'm a coward.
Talk about a piece of art, and I've done it every year. I've gone out there and I've tagged them, an artist documenting using an artist.
That's what the culture is. The Dick Cheney, the Carl Old, all these fucking Utah fuckers, cowards. Smithson's iconic fucking piece here is iconic for a fucking reason. As he stepped back and viewed from the broader perspective.
Yeah, it's
the tree on the exact opposite side.
So it's going to be, it's gone.
As you fucking morons go on yourself and drive by it,
as soon as I put the road. Anyway, thank you to everyone. The work goes on. You know, this work's historic and it's important. You know, and if, without me, you got nothing. I mean, I'm serious. Stay tuned.